So why is it important to talk about menopause? Because it's not talked about enough, is the basic answer. Understanding how our female body works, the science behind the mind-body connection, is absolutely essential if we're to feel comfortable in our own skin through this transition. Research has shown that having a sense of control is a common denominator right across the spectrum of health challenges we face. When we have a sense of control, we feel better, we recover more quickly. So, how does that relate to menopause? Well, when women have a good understanding of what is happening to them in their menopause years, what options they have for managing symptoms, somewhere to turn when they have questions, and ways of exploring and expressing themselves in a healthy way, they gain that sense of control, and that has an impact on their overall well-being and how they go through this transition. There's no reason why every woman in New Zealand should not have this information available to them. Now, how many women in New Zealand do you think are experiencing menopause? Well, we have around 2.5 million women in New Zealand. We make up half the population. The average age is 38.9. In 2013, 1 million women were aged between 40 and 55. That is a lot of women who are entering into their perimenopause years or already in it and into menopause. Having said that, menopause is not about aging. Okay, it commonly occurs in our 40s and 50s, but it can occur earlier due to medical treatment, health conditions, and genetics. The important thing to remember is menopause is less to do with age and more to do with hormones. It's a natural progression in a woman's life. So it's less to do with age and more to do with hormones. It's a natural progression, and it's something that every woman needs to know about. Okay, talk about it. Talk about it with other women, with your daughters. It's really important to know. Stigma. Is there a stigma around menopause? Have you experienced this? You probably have. Many women in the workshop say that yes, there's definitely a stigma. Why? You know, it's described as a prickly topic, the big M, the change. She's going through that time of life, whispered behind your back. That's how a well-known researcher called Dr. Lisa Mosconi, she describes it. She's a fabulous researcher on women's brain health. So that stigma and that taboo, it needs to be lifted, and it's women need to lift it and tell their stories. I really, really encourage you to tell your story. Share it with your friends, your daughters, your partners, anyone you believe needs to understand this topic better. We need a better perspective. Menopause, it needs to be approached with openness and curiosity and a sense of naturalness. Okay, this is a natural progression. It's a natural phase, and women need to be treated and treat themselves with dignity and respect and understanding. They need to be supported at home and in the workplace. We need to be open with one another. Women who've reached this phase of life, you know, they hold wisdom and knowledge that needs to be passed on to the next generation. You know, they have great strengths and character and value, and that needs to be shared. Now, just for fun, true or false, there's only one other mammal that's been found to go through menopause in the same way as a human female. Is that true or is that false? It's actually true. Orca whales are the only other mammal to go through menopause like a human female around the same age. After they've been through menopause, they remain essential to the pod. They guide them, they care for them, they help their daughters with their grandchildren, they help with training. The older females in the pod, they hold all the essential wisdom and knowledge. She knows the best feeding places and how to train the young ones. And without her, the pod would be in danger. Something to learn from orca whales.